getting my protein on because we're about to go on a huge backpacking trip through Algonquin. And so these are chili lime crickets from Entimo Farms. Crickets, if you don't know, are insects that are high in protein. And so they're a great alternative to meat products. They're more sustainable and everything. So I'm just getting some protein on before we head out on our trip. Yeah.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
All right,
I can't remember.
we are off.
Wow, trying to open it though.
I hope the batteries are charged.
No clue.
He doesn't know how to open his headlamp. We're all gonna die. Just got here. And Shane's bag strap is broken, so we're duct taping it.
Or the hip strap.
The main strap.
Oh.
Do you have duct tape?
Duct tape to the rescue. This is gonna go really well. All right, we're about to get started. So it's Eric, it's Rahul. Over here we got
Remember, you want to pull it from
We
the
got
left side.
Keshav and Shane.
Hey,
Right there. So we're going for 4 days into the wilderness. It's not gonna be too bad. It's like 40-ish kilometers. So this is the start of the trail. Gonna hike 20K this first day to get to our campsite. We're in Algonquin. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
We're already
Shane,
here.
is there more weight on your left side right now or right?
It's more weight on my left side, but then the weight that's here, I'm also supporting with my arm. That's why. So we're gonna do it.
You probably got 16 kilometers like that.
Don't
And
say
then
any numbers to me.
Yeah, we had no
Don't
idea.
need to hear them.
So, backpacking, the difference between backpacking and regular camping is that you actually have to hike to your camping location. So with normal camping, you take your car, go to the campground, you drive your car right onto the campground. So it's super convenient, and you don't have to worry about the weight of things or the size of things because you have your car. Backpacking, the main difference is you're taking everything, you're packing it into your backpack, hence the name, and you're walking kilometers, miles and miles to your camping location. So the benefit is that, steep hill here. So the benefit is that the locations are a lot more remote, so you get a lot more privacy when you're backpacking, and the campgrounds are usually a lot wider. So it's just a more rewarding sort of camping, but definitely lacks in the convenience factor, that's for sure. Oh God, I'm falling. I'm doing it. I don't care, I'm doing it. The mosquitoes are relentless. Welcome to mosquito country. How are you guys doing?
I don't like ginger snaps anymore.
So how far do you guys think we've gone?
Let's not talk about it until we get somewhere else.
I think.
Oh my God! There's like sweat draining down the tip of this thing.
This is the contraption that he has created now. So he has to walk all lopsided like this, but hey, whatever works, right?
Okay, so it's arm, it's a bungee cord, tape, hook onto the strap, another hook, and then a hook to the top of the bag.
Nice, bravo, man. Well, my inspiration for this hike is Ash Ketchum. because he's a 10-year-old that walked on foot across the whole world.
You realize that 10-year-old would have probably died in real life. But,
Shut up! He's my inspiration. Oh, Boo Earns, it is broken.
What happened
All the constant bobbing as I'm carrying it is like,
Did it break though?
yeah. I hope you're okay with a decrease in audio quality because my microphone is no longer able to be used in this situation. But it's pretty quiet out in the woods, so I don't think it'll make that big of a difference. Look at the size of those mushrooms. Look at these guys. Huge. I misspoke. They're not mushrooms.
They're probably fungi or fungi or fungi.
Yeah, how do you pronounce that? If you know how to pronounce that, let me know, because I always go back and forth.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Are we there yet?
We did it.
Only 7:08. We're crushing it, guys. Maggie West day 1, Maggie East day 2. Pancake
Tree out of Alice in Wonderland or something. Oh, yummy.
It looks like a stack of pancakes floating.
Look at this. It goes all around the tree. That's cool. We made it. We made it. Yo, guys. Good job. Fist bump. Fist bump. We made it.
Good meal tonight.
As the sun's setting. Whoa. We made it. Close to 20K. Day 1. And this is our view. It was hard. That was hard. Good morning, world. So much happened last night to try and set this place up. Too bad it was night and so I couldn't really film it, but maybe I'll describe it later. Gotta pack up though for now. So excuse my morning look. That is our bear bag system. So essentially when you're car camping, there's usually like convenient lockers or developed systems in which to keep your food away so that in case of roaming bears or animals, they're not gonna get to your food. Out in the backcountry, there's nothing. So what you usually do is you have a bear bag system where you hang all of your food up, usually in an airtight, scent-free bag. That way, even if a bear does wander by, does catch a smell of it or something, they're not going to be able to reach it. Hopefully they'll give up and walk away. You set this up far away from your camp, so even if they do come, they're not going to bother you at your tents. We brought a little too much food, so as you can see, they're not all in actual proper bear bags. Some of them are actually just grocery bags, which is highly not recommended, but it's just what we had to do. You have a rope and you string it up above a tall tree branch. In order to do that, because you can't just like climb the tree and pull the rope over, is you usually tie it to a rock or a heavy stick or something and throw it over the branch, catch the rope on the other side, and then you can tie it up and then like lever it up. That's Shane.
Leaves everywhere and everything I got.
In the backcountry, there's also a specific way to brush your teeth. Bears are actually quite attracted to toothpaste, and also toothpaste isn't usually something that's naturally in the wild. So you want to disperse it as evenly as possible so that it's more easily filtered through the ground, the dirt, soil, all that. So when you're actually spitting out your toothpaste, hopefully you just have a biodegradable toothpaste in the first place, but if you don't, we'll do this anyway. So what you do is, got all that froth and stuff, as you can see on Shane's face. So you're going to take a swig of water, and then you're going to try and spray it in a mist fashion across, as Shane will try and demonstrate. Yes. That way the toothpaste is actually spread out a little more. It's not just one glob that takes a while longer for it to dissipate. Yeah, so that's how you brush your teeth out in the backcountry. What about water? So there's a couple ways you can get water. Because you can't possibly lug like 4 or 5 days worth of water for each person, there's a couple ways you can get water. There are tablets that you can put into your bottles or whatnot, and that'll purify the water, but these are pretty expensive. You also have hand pumps. This is my mini hand pump. So it's a ceramic filter, and you just, whoops, and you literally just hand pump the water. Or what we have over here is a gravity filter. So you go to the lake, you fill it with water, and gravity will naturally push the water downwards through a filter, through the hose, and then you can fill your water bottles that way. So there's a ton of different ways in which you can get water, but all of it means you need to find a water source. So in the desert, not going to be so easy, but out here in Algonquin Park, where it's Canada and we have the most lakes of any country in the entire world, it's pretty easy. So what about food? There are dehydrated food packs, because basically any food that you bring in, it's very difficult to actually keep from spoiling because you don't have a refrigerator or anything. So a lot of dehydrated food. These are in these bags that you can just pour boiling water in, and it cooks it right within it. So that's cool. This is Pad Thai by Backpacker's Pantry. And we can cook them on something like a little mini stove where you can put tiny wood chips in, and it contains the fire to one little source. You can also use those little gas fire stoves or a full-on fire pit if you have one. But to be honest, I find it really difficult to cook over a large fire pit, so I actually prefer a small controlled stove like this. This one's a solo stove. Not sponsored. Catch. Excellent. If you need to know how to make a fire, check out my previous video, which I'll link. Okay, everybody's favorite topic, pooping. So sometimes campsites will have something called like a thunder box. So it'll be like a box that has a hole in the ground that you can poop and pee into. If it is completely wilderness and you don't have anything, this one is called the Deuce of Spades. And it is just a tiny little ultralight shovel. You can shovel a certain little hole in which to place your excrement, and then you just bury it. You also want to do this for when you're doing dishes after you've eaten. So to wash your dishes, you wash them with biodegradable soap away from water sources, and you dig a hole again away from water sources just so that it doesn't leak and pollute into the actual lake or pond or river or whatever. So how do you guys feel after day one?
It's actually good. I mean, it wasn't as bad as cramping, right? To be honest, it's a beautiful site. We got probably the best one here, so.
Yeah, like,
I mean, we paid
this
for it
is
with
amazing.
blisters and blood.
Yeah, really.
So we deserve it.
My legs are killing me. It's gonna be hard to keep going, but we gotta get to our next campsite for day 2. Look at Keshev's elbow. Hang on. So,
Oh my god.
I don't know if you can tell how many mosquito bites are right there. How many is that?
It's about 19.
On just the elbow.
Just
not
on
even
this
the rest of the
elbow
elbow. Not even the rest of the whole body.
Oh, and then
just
there's
the
more
elbow.
leading down the arm, so I didn't even count those.
Film my back, my lower back. I don't know how bad it is.
If you look here, if I can focus it, we got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right on his lower back.
Site 2. Okay, swim time over. Today we swam during the daytime. Last night me and Rahul went out into the lake when it was nighttime, and it was a completely cloudless night, so it was just gorgeous. You could see the Milky Way and everything above you, and highly recommended. So what are you doing there, Rahul?
So we got some fire steel here. And so this is the fire steel, and this is the graphite, I think. Or maybe this is flint. Anyways, these two together create a spark. And I gotta just practice it. There we go. So it's a very minor spark, so we really need it right above the kindling so that it actually catches. It's a little bit harder, but you can use this in wet conditions to make the kindling somewhere in a dry space in your shelter, near your shelter, and then bring the kindling over to the fire. Or you can just keep reusing it thousands of times so you don't have to use a lot of matches. And it's portable, which is great. But it's not easy. So let's see what happens. There we go.
Come on. Come on.
Fire starter.
He did it! And the zoo
Fire tornado, behold in all its glory.
I have peanut butter on my hands. Day 3, and it is raining. So I'm switching to the GoPro. It's so ridiculously humid, hiking in the rain, and mosquitoes retreat from the open areas into the forest, so they're actually super active right now. Anyway, day 3 we're hiking about a little less than 10 kilometers, which would normally be fine, but on 3 blistered feet and 2 weak knees, not so easy. Great. Hiking through a marsh now. It's gorgeous, but I mean, waterproof shoes necessary. I don't know if you can see the fog. That's how humid it is in here. It's like a rainforest. When a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? Yes. Keshav, what you got there?
I got a little caterpillar. Actually, he has lunch.
It's so bright, it looks neon on camera.
It's absolutely neon. All right, off you go.
We've lost 2 of us. So 2 of us are dead, but the strongest 2 are still alive. So we will continue, and their bodies will be our sustenance. Pro tip, eat your friends. Campground number 3. So I was just bathing in the water and this guy went onto my leg. This is a leech. And you can see he's moving. That's actually his tail end that's going forward. His head is actually on the other side. And oh, there he goes. Important part of the ecosystem though, so despite them being gross looking, I'm gonna bring him back to the water now so that he can live. Go, be free. Have fun, Leech.
Oh my god, look at that dragonfly. Eat him! Get him!
So it's like Why do we suffer through all the mosquitoes, all the blisters, all the leeches, all the craziness? It's for moments like these. Aww, look how cute they are. Yawn, nice big yawn. Now show me that ass. He should have been his full bug gear.
Yeah, it's better than getting bit by mosquitoes, I'll tell you that.
How are your blisters?
I gotta say, it's painful. We gotta walk for about 6 hours today. It's gonna be pretty exciting. Gotta say, we're walking by 2 different lakes, so we'll get different views. But mostly the trail is downhill, so it shouldn't be too bad.
It is our final day, day 4 in Algonquin Park. How much backpacking experience do you have?
About 0.
How much backpacking experience do
This
you
is
have?
the first time I've gone backpacking.
How much backpacking experience do you have?
0 in Canada.
Okay, but you all have been regular kind of car camping, right?
Oh yes,
Do you enjoy it? Would you do it again?
I enjoy it, and I'll definitely do it again. But don't ever take it lightly.
Weight management is way more important than you might think. Honestly, being able to distribute weight properly in your backpack, making sure you're not bringing excess stuff, that's the big difference between car camping and backpacking. During car camping, you can bring coolers, you can bring sparios, you can bring anything. But during backpacking, you have to bring it right down to the minutia and the simple things that you really do need for those days that you're going.
Yeah, I think 4 was a good size number so we could share the weight, but yes, us less experienced, we didn't manage the weight too well, so we learned a lot. Eric taught us a lot. And we got to pace ourselves, take our time, and for me personally, a walking stick was really helpful, so maybe proper poles.
So what was the hardest part about backpacking for you guys?
Mosquitoes. It's definitely mosquitoes.
I gotta say, the largest setback was definitely the mosquitoes. I mean, having them be so aggressive. If it wasn't for this bug net for during the 2nd, 3rd, maybe even 4th day, I probably would have just died. I got 90 something mosquito bites on the first day, during the first part of the hike, just alone.
Because you got to remember, during regular car camping, there's a lot of lots where people are camping, so there's more of a spread of food for the mosquitoes. When you're backpacking, you're probably one of 12 people max on the entire trail, so all the mosquitoes are just going to kind of flock to you. If you could give a new backpacker just one tip, just one of them, what would it be? The most important tip of all?
Get a little physically fit before you start this little trail you think you can do. You're going to be carrying 45 pounds over a lot of kilometers, and you can carry it around your house. Think about it. Maybe you can't carry it around for a couple hours, more than an hour.
Yeah, people are like, oh, 20 kilometers, I can do that easy. I have all day. But it's different when you're carrying your house, your food for a week, all that stuff in your bag. It's a completely different experience. And when you're walking up and down rocky terrain, completely different. Keshav.
Make sure you're staying hydrated. I would have noticed that a little bit earlier, but I wasn't drinking enough water during the first day, and I got a cramp, and it really pushed us back a little bit in terms of time.
That's good advice. I would say don't go it alone at first or even the first few times. Plan in a small group and plan what you're taking strategically. So getting kind of duplication out of the way. People can bring their own food, but just try not to bring 5 power banks, 2 gravity filters, right? Be strategic with what you carry, because then if someone needs your help or if someone has an emergency, you can share the load even more.
And only carry one piece of entertainment, not 4 books like I did.
I did not know that he was carrying 4 books, otherwise I would have told him before he brought them. His bag was so heavy that it ripped 5 minutes into the hike, and we had to hold it together with
We
duct
didn't even
tape.
start hiking. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we were in the first 2 seconds of the trail.
Yeah, it was the
and
walk from the parking lot to the trailhead.
But carabiner clips, duct tape, and bungee cords, guys. Bring 1 pack of those.
My tip would just be remember to fully stock up your first aid kit. So we all kind of had blisters developing, and I had to perform a little bit of first aid on my feet and things like that. I probably ended up using up 15 bandages and a lot of antiseptic stuff, and so it's great that my kit actually ran out, so I had to borrow some of Rahul's. So
Check it out.
so
Show
it's
it to
good.
them. This is a good one for a small group.
So this is an example of a first aid kit you can pick up at places like Mech. It comes with all the basic essentials in it, and because it comes in it's a waterproof bag. It has like a waterproof lining on the inside, so even if it gets wet, if you're canoeing, portaging, or whatnot, and you fall in the lake, this will still be fine. All your stuff will be fine, and you can add to it. There's a reason it's yellow, so that it'll float, and you can easily see it, so you can gather it back. My biggest tip for backpacking is also screen your group of friends beforehand. Make sure that you're going to be a team that operates as one unit, because if you have a bunch of people that are going to be lazy, or they're going to be like, oh, that's too much hard work, I don't want to do that, or whatever, you start arguing and it becomes a really tough experience. But when you have a group of great people together, they're all willing to put in the work to share those responsibilities, it becomes way easier and way more enjoyable.
I mean, if you have someone like that, you probably should just leave him on the trail and to die.
Yeah, I agree. That's the number one thing about that you're gonna remember forever based on this trip.
Beautiful, pretty wild, and like just almost entirely to yourself campsites. Like, they're pristine. These backcountry campers are really taking care of it in a mindful way that you don't sometimes see at other types of campsites. But you're also much further or much closer to like the true wilderness you would expect. You're expected to take care of it, and in return it gives you, I mean, just gorgeous scenery, even if it's raining. So that was just incredible. Yeah, pretty memorable stuff.
Honestly, the idea of leaving no trace is so important. We've come to these campsites and there's been nothing here, and it's been beautiful. The fact that there's no garbage, no litter, no people leaving around their old stuff. And what that lets you do is it lets you sit on a rock and look out on the water, and then be able to just appreciate that there's literally nobody else around the lake. And you're the only one who's seeing this one view right now, in this moment. And it's really mesmerizing, to be honest.
Well, through all the work and hardship, for all those hours you paid to get to the campsite, it makes you appreciate and happy about everything you see once you get there, through all the hard work. And more than you would ever just driving there with a car.
All right, so we're about to embark on our last hike for the day to get back to the trailhead.
Civilization.
Yep, so we'll be hiking another 5-6 hours, and hopefully we won't be dead by the end of it. We'll see you later.
Happy camping.
See you on the flip side. We are done. Yes. Yes. Keshav. Keshav. Pound this. Pound this. We did it. Yeah. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You know what? I don't want to talk about it.